sunshines. As always, I hope you are doing well. We are outside in the garden today, and I am what I normally refer to as a veggie garden. Although I grow veggies on throughout the garden, this seems to have the most garden beds. So I was like, should I switch to calling it the fence garden? But anyways, we're going to be working with the flower bed along the fence, as well as one of the vegetable beds. So this is the last major, if you want to call, cleanup that I have to do. So we're going to clean that up, and we're going to be planting our onions out today as well. That's what I want to accomplish. I also have to dig up some of these plants that I know that are not staying here. I have 4 coral bells, and I also need to fertilize all of the hydrangeas that are over here. So I got some work cut out for me today. So let's get to it. Sun keeps going in and out, so I hope it comes to stay. But a lot of the leaves you're going to see me, I'm going to put in this bed. What I noticed about this bed right here, this garden bed, and this one is a lot of weeds came up last year along with the veggies. Here goes a big weed right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to suppress these weeds. So I'm going to be putting a lot of leaves, and I need to build these beds back up as well. So we're going to be putting a lot of leaves in this bed, and then some of them are going to get out of here. So okay, so the goal wasn't to get every leaf, but it was to get the majority of them, which we did. Sorry about my shadow. It's going to be here. But let's see what we have over here in the flower bed. So we have a Rose of Sharon. I don't remember the name. We have 2. I think there's a tag over here. Then we have a hardy hibiscus, and it looks like it's still alive because I was concerned about these hardy hibiscus. I also have 2 of them over here because I cut them back early and all the things, and I'm hoping that they come back. I know that hardy hibiscus are like the last thing to bloom, so they won't bloom and do all the things until like July or something, or August. And there's the other Rose of Sharon, and it has a tag. This is, what is this? Here we go. It's this one. So it produces these pretty white flowers. So we have that. Then we have another hardy hibiscus, and then we have some hydrangea. These are so small. They are alive. I can see the growth, the new growth on them. They are so small. I won't be doing anything to them unless I see something dead. Like this part right here is clearly dead. So I'll come back around and prune those and take care of any dead. And then right here's another one. For whatever reason, this one was being harassed. So I have these bricks around it. Ew, look at those ugly bugs. So, and then this right here is a bloom struck. All of them are hydrangeas. And here's another one. And they're very small. I can't wait to see them grow in. And then right here we have a Wigelia. This is, I believe, the wine and rose. I gotta see how it's gonna do over here. No, actually, what is this? minor black Weigelia. I have a wine and rose on the other side, but as you can see, like that has broken off. I'm gonna have to come back and cut that. But it is alive because I can see some buds forming. So here's another hydrangea. This one is Nico Blue. And there's two of these in this section. The other one is down here. And then we have coral bells. These coral bells are what I'm going to dig up. I know it looks bare right now, but if you were with me last year in my past videos over here in this section, I just recently planted and made this a garden space. We have a lot of tall hosta that will come up around this beautiful willow tree. Do you all see that it's all budded up? It's a wee bit dappled. This is my dappled willow tree. I have two of them, and they're not so pretty. But what I think about these coral bells or heucheras, whatever, they're too low for this space. So I'm going to dig them up. I have two over there as well. And then, like I said, all around these were hostas that will come up. When you saw me take out the bench is here. I'm thinking about not having the bench here. I believe in a seeding space in every part of your garden, so I'm not totally taking it out, but I might take this area and plant it up and use this for more planting space and leave the bench right there. So when I sit there, I still have a nice view of the garden. So that is my thought process right now. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and dig up those coral bells and get them in pots. So I have a couple of pots here. I'm just going to sit them in here for now and then trim them up and take care of them a little later. So we're going to just stick these over here with the other pots that are waiting to be planted up, and then we'll get to the onions. There are a couple of things that I'm going to do before to this actual bed, this raised bed, before I plant my onions. As I said, there was a lot of weeds coming out of this bed, and I believe that bed. And so what I'm going to do to suppress the weeds and bulk up the bed even more, I am going to next, on top of the leaves, put these paper bags. I save paper bags. We know they're going to break down over time, and they're good for the soil. And so I'm going to just layer paper bags on top of the leaves. That's going to be our next layer for this planting. It's going to all make sense. So for one, I need to bulk up the bed, and I have a lot of these bags that need somewhere to go that I've been saving, but it's all going to be beneficial. The worms love it. And it's going to, what I want to do, suppress the weeds, help suppress the weeds with the leaves. Now the paper bags, the worms will come, all the things. So, so I didn't cover all of it, but it's fine. I was going to grab more, but this is fine. The next thing I'm going to do is, I had my son, once again, thank you, son, fill up this wheelbarrow with chicken bedding. It's heavy. That's why he was like, "Ma, where do you want this?" So we're going to do a layer of the chicken bedding. Okay. You see how this, after doing that, how raised up this level is? That's why I call it a raised bed, to make it easier for planting. That's what I believe raised beds are for. So I should have did this step when I put down the paper bags, but I'm going to water everything down. Everything down. Each year, the soil level drops for me when I use these, and I don't feel like it's that significant. I always have to, add more soil or do this combination again. It doesn't bother me. But what that means for me, because I did the hugelkultur method where I had like wood and all that stuff buried underneath before adding the soil, kind of what I'm doing today is that everything is breaking down. And so, and when it comes to this chicken bedding right here, the onions are little starts. They're not going to touch this right away because we're going to be adding soil to the bed as well. That will be our next layer. But I want to get this well watered in. And as you water it in, it might start dropping because it's settling. So I might come out here in a few days and be like, didn't I just fill this bed up? But it shouldn't drop that bad, like where it looked like I didn't do anything. But it might be noticeable, but not, it won't look like it was looking before I did this, put it that way. Gardening is work. It is work. And I can see already this is higher than this. Okay, so we got that step done. So the next thing I'm going to do is add compost. I went inside my chicken run, one of the chicken runs, almost forgot about this. So one of my chicken runs, I had chickens in there and I had turkeys in there. And so this, inside their run, I went in there and dug up the soil from inside the actual run where they had pooped and ate and all these things. So although this bedding has some of the same things in there, it's a little different because this one is more broken down, whereas this needs to continue to break down. So you see the difference? You see, that is soil. I forgot when we butchered those turkeys, but it's been a while. So this has been sitting there in the rain, and you see that? It's broken down. So compost for me. So we're going to get all of this in there. Let's see if the shovel will work. And remember, the seedlings still won't touch this right away because they're little seedlings. Because I think I told y'all we were doing soil next, but I forgot about the compost. So, and I'm only saying about the seedlings won't touch it right away because I don't, in case anyone's concerned about their seedlings burning, I hope that doesn't happen. I don't believe that will happen. So I'm going to get this in here, and then the same process, we're going to wet this down. Onions are all planted up. I was able to get all the onions in this one bed, which I'm so happy I was able to do. It is a little tedious. You don't just take a lump. You actually got to separate all the seedlings. I did try to put like all the buncheon onions up here, and then on that side I try to put all the Spanish onions over there, and then right here the yellow onions. And so I have nothing in this corner right here, so if I want to drop like, I don't know, something there, I'll probably drop like marigold there or something like that. That will work. Or a flower or something, whatever, that will work. So finally, this is our first planting of the year. Today is April 1st, and I was able to get the onions in the ground. So hopefully all the hard work will pay off of getting this bed established. So I did put leaves in that bed, not because I was going to plant it up, but just because I need to bulk up that bed too. But so they won't fly away, I'm going to lay some cardboard on the top with some bricks to leave those. As you can see, it's very windy, so those leaves will not blow away back over here where we kind of cleaned up. The last thing I'm going to do before I say goodbye is I'm going to go around and I'm going to fertilize all the hydrangeas. And what I'm going to fertilize them with is what I already fertilized all the other hydrangeas with, is plant tone. Now you can use other tones. I think people use holly tone, garden tone, rose tone, all the different things. But like I think I said in another video, this just comes easy for me because I can use it on everything. And so I'm just going to basically, where's my glove? Put them down because it was so dirty. I did my apple trees. I did make a big, like a ditch around it, if that's what you want to call it. I'm not going to do all of that here, but I will take this little rake and scratch it in, and then I will water these in as well because once again, the dogs. So what I'm doing is pulling back the mulch though. I do want to pull the mulch back so we can make contact with the actual soil. And then I'll put the mulch back over. So that's what I'm going to do for all 4 of these. Gives them a nice, good feed in. And then I'll take this rake, or you could take your hand and kind of like scratch it in. Ooh, it's windy. I hope that doesn't fall. And then I'm going to put the mulch back around. The plant. So that's what I'm going to go do all up and down this line. That was all the hydrangeas. I have my white Gila. I'm not sure if, ooh, don't fall phone. Boy, it's been so windy. Let me make sure this mic is on. It's been so windy. Ooh. Y'all are like going like this. You see, it's so windy. Anyways, so I don't know if the white Gilia, I don't think that needs fertilizer, but the hardy hibiscus I will fertilize once I see them coming back, up out of the ground. The Rose of Sharon, I might drop a little before I walk away, but I'm going to get all these watered in, and then that's going to be it. It's been a very productive day. It's been a few hours out here. I know you all will get a few minutes, but it's been a few hours out here. And so I'm going to say goodbye. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your likes. Thank you for subscribing. I promise I'll talk back if you leave a comment. And if you've done all 3 of those things, thank you. And if you haven't, please consider. Until next time, thank you for tuning in to PoweFolk Living. Blessings. Bye. We do also have some onions growing over here. These are chives, and they will produce the purple flower, but you can eat off of them as well. So this one came back, this one, and this one. I thought I put them in other beds. We also have an abelia that I believe is still alive, and I hope it grows back. It was so beautiful. And the other thing is our tulip bed. This bed right here, all the tulips have come up, and I'm loving it. It looks like there's actually more peeking through. Yep. So more to come up. There was also a clematis over here, and I thought it was right here. I don't know if it's going to come back, but I do have a clematis that I'm going to bring over here that's actually growing in a pot. and that's not going to be the spot for it. So I'm going to go and grab that clematis and just stick it right here as well. Lots going on. There goes the other chives. I knew there was more chives. But anyways, so I don't know the name of this clematis, but this pot used to be over there by that arch where I'm going to put some climbing roses. But I realized the clematis is alive. I hope it doesn't get like shocked when I transplant it, but it's not going to do anything here. There's nothing for it to climb. So I'm going to dig it out and I'm going to put it where I just told you all. So here's the clematis. It was really in there. I did get a nice bunch of roots, but I hope it be okay. And I don't see a tulip growing right here, so this is where I want it to go so it can just climb up. I'm gonna go. I know there's a tulip in front, so I really hope it makes it. So I'm gonna just grab some fertilizer and put some fertilizer in there, but I hope it makes it. Well, I'm gonna make sure that it wants fertilizer before I do that, but that's that. Another chore done.